So what I've done already, I've given these parts a base coat of this AK primer, primer and micro filler. That's AK 754 black, which I find is a really nice primer. Sometimes with my models I would use Stynol Res, which is another good one, which is an acrylic polyurethane primer, which is really good for models. But I'm just trying something a little bit more hot. So this is a cellulose based, I think, primer, so just a little bit stronger, so not water based. And then I'm gonna obviously using acrylics over the top. So what I've done, I've given all of the parts a base coat of that primer. I've attached a base, and so here are all the parts so far. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to give these a coat of Macrage blue base. I guess there's two ways of doing this. You could either base coat it with the gold and then paint the blue, or paint the blue and then paint the gold, because this is predominantly blue and gold. But I'm going to go with Macrage blue on the blue, most of the blue parts. On the gold parts I'll just go in straight in with the gold. But basically what I'm going to do is give them all a base coat all over, and then pick out the details with a brush. So I'm going to airbrush this on. Now when I'm airbrushing Citadel, the normal stuff that I would use, so there's a variety of thinners you could use for this. My main thinner of choice for when I'm doing my model aircraft would be X20A, but this I find just gloops up the paint a little bit, because I guess the Tamiya paints are a little bit more alcohol based, water based, and these are just pure water based paints. So something I found works really well, just that I've had hanging around, this is Life Colours thinner. I find this really good for filling down. I think it's just basically water with a few additives in it. And then we have Vallejo's thinner, which is not bad either at thinning down that paint. But we're going to use Life Colour thinner here. So what I'm going to do, give the old paint a shake. And now normally what I do, so with my towel that I've been building, I've decanted the paint into one of these and I've thinned it down pre-thin so that I can just apply it into my airbrush. But for the moment what we'll do is I'm just going to mix this up in here. First of all we put some thinner in, so a couple of drops of thinner, and then I tried to equal mix really of paint to thinner, so probably 50-50, so 50% thinner, 50% paint. Let's just get all that off the brush, and then what I'll do is I'll check my flow. Okay, so we're not too bad, and then I just come in and all I'm going to do is give this a light dusting over first of all of that colour. Now you'll probably need to go over that a few times, because where it's thinned down it takes a while for the black to come through. So now what I also use, I sometimes use a hair dryer to get the paint dry. So if I wanted to work on one piece, I'll get my old hair dryer. This is going to be a bit noisy. Now what you can do, you could just leave some of the black coming through in the undersides if you wanted to shade it. But I'm just going to give this a good coat of blue all over. At this point as well, you'll see any imperfections in the model. You can go in and just tidy some bits up. So that's pretty much almost there. Just going to give it one more last coat over the body here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to paint. I'm going to just on video show you how to paint this section of the torso, and then obviously you can just apply that to everywhere else. And I'll show you a little bit how I do the metallics and the sword and so on as well. So that's it so far. What we'll do now, so if we just bring you in. Okay, so let that focus. So that's it there. It's been undercoated. It hasn't got the front chest plate on yet, So that's what it looks like, and what we'll do is in the next part I'll show you what we do next. So do the gold, some highlighting and so forth, and bring out the detail. So we'll do it in sections. This one really needs to be built in sections. Alright, so see you in a bit.